All right, everybody. How you guys doing? Thank you if you came over from Rico's live stream. I want to say thanks for Rico for sending you guys over if that's where you guys are coming from. Um, but I guess we got another one. This is plug number 21. Gonna talk about 7 more channels that I've recently have come across. These guys are all relatively smaller channels. Um, with the exception of one of them, the last one that I'm going to talk about, they've already got over 1,000 subscribers, but it's probably currently one of my favorite channels to watch. I think she does an excellent job of the way she animates her her videos and just the information. It's very easy to digest the information that she's putting out there, and you can tell that she puts a lot of work behind what she's doing. But with that being said, I know I'm a little bit early, about maybe 2.5, 3 minutes early. But uh, I just kind of figured I know some of you guys were already waiting and figured why not? Let's go ahead and get this done, and so that you guys can go and enjoy these newer channels. I'm back in the garage. In case you didn't notice, this is not a green screen. It's actually the downsizing that I've been doing, which I think for the most part is going to just stay to whatever I can put on top of there. I'm currently working on a little mini pond that's going to go down there. I'm definitely keeping the 75 that I have and maybe a 55, and I think that's it. That's all the tanks that I'm gonna keep for at least for a while. Just because I'm finding out in order to keep these the way I want, it takes a lot of time. Yeah, I didn't. I used to have them before, but I wouldn't. I let them get out of hand a little bit, and now that I'm trying to keep up with the maintenance, it's especially because they're planted and they're kind of scaped. Trying to keep them looking the way I want. There's a lot of interaction with them, a lot more than even my breeding tanks when I was doing that, because that breeding tanks was really mostly doing water changes and stuff like that. But maybe we could talk a little bit more about this towards the end. Let me for the new channels that I was going to plug today. Let's get to that, and and then if you guys want to hang out and talk about other stuff, we. I am technically off, not really. Oh, is lost. Hey, Jorge. But yeah. Oh, back because I just got a message saying that my signal had been lost. Okay, I see. I see the chat going. Just give me a thumbs up and let me know back. All right. I don't see it, so maybe I'm still. All right. So, anyways, before we get going, I want to say thank you to Benjamin Peters, Uncle Smiley Aquariums, Bionic Bigfoot, Linda Worth, Moneyless Maven. Why are we always yelling? Let's see, Jose Cota, Shane Marshall, Greg, 3G, Night Owl Aquatics, Jody P. Who else is coming in here? Fuzzy, KR, thank you for being here. BYZ 513, thanks for joining. Let's see who else. I think that's pretty much it. I want to say thank you guys for joining for the live stream. Okay, so getting back to business, I've got 7 channels that I kind of want to introduce to you guys. These are all very different channels too. I found them to be interesting just because how different they go about doing what they're doing with their channels. The first one, let's see, let's bring this up. Bring that up. There we go. Oh, again. Oh, working. Okay. It's supposed to be okay. Yeah, I see what it is. So I guess I am pausing. I don't know what's going on. My signal's good. Let's see. Nope, that's not what I wanted. Okay, I want to go further down. You guys are looking into the infinite. All right, so let's go to my descriptions. The first one that I want to talk about is how we do aquatics. Uh, this is a gentleman that is into cichlids, specifically Dovi cichlids. And he's got a really interesting aquarium that he built, the one you see in the thumbnail. And the reason I say it's interesting because most of the larger aquariums I used to see in the back side of it, the back panel on there is usually like plywood, but this almost looks like slat wooding that he used. So I'm really curious to find out how he did this. Is it just a wraparound? I know he in one of the videos he's talking about how much resin he used, but I've never seen one built the way he built this one. So that's right off the bat, that was one of the things that I really was interested in. I guess it is a plywood because it says on there on the description that he did build a four a 2x4, not ply. Oh, okay, not plywood. There you go. I should read better. He's a relatively small channel. When I found him, he had 37 subscribers. He's up to 39, which is good. He's picked up two more. Let's see. Let's see what he tells us. Welcome to the channel. Here at How We Do Aquatics. We bring you along on our DIY aquarium builds, and when they are going on and what they are going on. Okay, he mostly wants to focus on breeding South and Central American cichlids. And so that's pretty much what his channel's about. He's kind of, I know the couple of videos that I've seen is mostly on how he was able to breed his Dovi. And I don't know if it's a hybrid or not. I'm not too savvy when it comes to cichlids. I'm just going based off of the titles. This last video that he did about 4 months ago is pretty good because he kind of really goes and goes from the beginning of the creation of the channel, the build. He talks about his goals and his what he's trying to accomplish. So I thought that was kind of interesting. Uh, but you can see in this video down here, it's a Dovi Nicaraguan. So I don't know if that's just the type of Dovi or if it's a hybrid. I'm not a big cichlid keeper, so some of these things are new to me, which is one of the reasons why I kind of like watching these channels because I learn a little bit more. Uh, and so I might not necessarily want to keep one of these fishes, but it doesn't mean that I can't learn from them. I can tell that he went to Florida to the guys that make Extreme. They're big African cichlid breeders. I forget their name. I know they're pretty well known in the African cichlid community for being the biggest importers of African cichlids. And he went and one of his almost first videos, he was down there, I guess, visiting the location. Let's see who else is in here. It looks like Tommy just came in. Mike, new local Austin. Thank you for coming in. This is Synodonis Man. Hey, thank you for being here. I think this is the first time I've seen your name in my channel. Thank you so much for joining us. Oh, look, oh wait, it's Featherfin. Yeah, thanks for being here, buddy. I'm glad you're here because now you get to hear what I have to say about you because you are one of the ones on the list today. So and that it's not a bad thing either. So let me see. Let me take care of a little bit of business, make sure that we get them the ability to connect with other people. So that's why I'm go ahead and giving you the wrench. I want to make sure. Hey, Kyle, thanks for coming in. I want to make sure everybody that's here has the ability look at other people's channels, and oh wait, Fuzzy, why are you not blue? Let's make you blue. Okay, for again, the disclaimer, you're not here to moderate anything. The reason you're getting a wrench is because it gives you the ability to click on anybody's um, name in the chat and give you the option to check out their channel. So, I mean, I think that's one of the coolest things about coming into a chat and trying to find other like-minded people. That's the best way to do it. This is something that I've taken from what Father Fish has done. He was one of the very first people that I saw doing this, and I thought, what a great idea. So, Ed, thank you for coming in. Convict, thanks for joining me. And I thought I saw Stephen P. Thanks for coming in. Let's see who else. Who else is kind of sneaking in here? I'm trying to get a little bit better at acknowledging people, and especially on this live stream because it's not where I'm trying to focus more on the guest. So I'm gonna try to be a little better of acknowledging those of you that are here. God, you know, I love this time of the year because the weather is finally breaking and we're not cooking at 114 degrees. But the downside is because it is nice, freaking flies are everywhere. Hey, Jose, thanks for coming in. Vinoski, so much. Thank you guys for joining. So, again, going back to the channel because I'm going to get sidetracked. This is how we do aquatics. How we do, yeah, aquatics. And like I said, he even says it in there. He's really big into cichlids. I really find this build very interesting. Like again, like I said, because it's not made out of plywood. It almost looked like it's 2x4s that have been stacked on top of each other, which you would think that something like that would be more inducive to having leaks because of all the seams that are created. But I want to say that it's in this video here. He kind of shows a top view of the aquarium. Yeah, right here he's got a bunch of fry. I mean, it's like a cloud of fry. They're all hiding in here. He's got two females in there with him. So this might be the wrong video. Let me see. Yeah, this might not be the one where he shows the aquarium. Um, okay, so it's probably the very first one then. This no, is it that one? Let me see. I know there's one. I was looking at it and I was like, "Whoa, that's a short one. That's more of a short." This one, no, he's just kind of talking about what he's been doing. Yeah, this is not the video. But anyways, he's almost has about either 3/4 of an inch or half-inch thickness of resin that he used to seal off the aquarium. Um, it is it is just it is incredible. He basically built like an acrylic tank, you could say, just to be able to get that thing to seal up. Okay, I think this is it. This is the video. Um, Let me see, because he's kind of showing you. Okay, you see, that's the he's talking about the resin, and he's also kind of talking about some of the things that he would do differently. Because I know he was talking about that plexiglass that he put in there. That's where he's kind of pointing out the thickness of all that resin. It'll focus in there. Well, it's more probably like a 1/4 inch. I tended to exaggerate a little bit, but it's nonetheless, it's he's basically built like an acrylic panel just to be able to get to seal that. I don't think that might have been too inexpensive either to do, but um, I just thought it was very interesting the way it's unconventionally built. And when I say that, he went away from what the normal building of it that most people do. Yeah, and I can see right here they're 2x4s that are that are stacked. That's insane. Oh, anyways, one of the things that he was talking about is how he would, if he had to redo this, how he would set up the plexiglass that's in the front, because this is a plexiglass. He would probably have done it much different because I guess he had some issues making it watertight. And so, I love when people do that because it allows you to learn from their mistakes the things that they did that, they tried doing and it didn't work out. So, they're letting you know, hey, I tried it. This did not work. You can, I can kind of give you the solution to what the problem is, but it also gives you the ability to avoid having to make those mistakes and being able to learn from somebody else's experience. So that's why I thought that was really interesting. And then that fish is humongous too. But yeah, that's how we do aquatics. Let me make sure we go back to oh, he's got 40 subscribers now. Thank you for those of you that have subscribed to him. Um, again, I'm not sure, and this is just me making assumptions. I know that in one of the back of the aquariums you can see that he's got a banner for Houston, and I think it's for one of the university, the University of Houston. So I don't know if he's in Houston or he lived or he is from Houston because he's also was able to go to Florida. So I'm not really sure where he's located. I don't think he's mentioned, at least that I've been able to pick up what part of the country he's in. But nonetheless, that's how we do aquatics. Check them out. If you like them, give them sub. Um, and just wanted to make you guys aware of that. Okay, next channel. Uh, and that's my Synodontis man, aka Featherfin Films. I had the opportunity to listen to him talk to Nick. He had him on as a guest, and probably one of the longest live streams I've ever listened to. I left multiple times to go do stuff that I need to get done for hours at a time. I was able to come back, and they were still going strong. But so the next channel that I want to share with you guys is Featherfin Films. This channel is very, very interesting. Um, if you are serious about learning about fish, uh, specifically, it seems like he does a lot of like catfish kind of stuff. He the last video he did was on some clownfish, clown loaches. I mean, um, wow, talk about doing the research and the work. Phenomenal. He goes in depth. He's got animations. He's got um, images, research documentation. One of the things that was really interesting that I didn't even know is that the loaches make this underwater noise because the way they move their jaws, and it makes a clicky noise. And that was something I was never. I think I learned more about clown loaches than I ever needed to learn. But besides that, the other thing is he does this really interesting thing because he's a big race car enthusiast. So Todd, if you're watching this, I think this channel is right up your alley. But and I haven't watched those, but also I learned this while watching the interview with Nick. He has a way of tying in both of these hobbies. It's a very unique ability to take certain characteristics that the fish might have and be able to link them to these vehicles. It's whether it's in performance or I don't know. I haven't really had an opportunity to dig in full bore into this channel because the videos are a little bit on the longer version of it, but it's just because there's just so much information. And but I know we have a lot of car enthusiasts, and we have a lot of people that also enjoy fish. I think this channel is one that is definitely worth a look. Um, just simply on learning about some of these species of fish. Just with the information you're gonna walk away. I don't know of anybody really that I follow that goes in that much detail into some of these fish as maybe Rebecca from okay, it's ichthyology what? This is gonna suck. I know Brandon said don't bring up people and mention them if you don't know their name, but we all know Rebecca. She's the Pleco lady. That's what I call her. Mm. But really, really, really interesting channel. He Senadonis man. Yeah, I don't know if you spend all day reading this stuff because you really get into some of the nitty gritty documents, and I thank you for that because there's no way I would do it. And you give me the Cliff Notes version of whatever research papers you're reading because even just the information you're providing on some of these videos is it's pretty in depth. It is a lot of information, a lot of interesting information. You get some history about this, where how they came into the hobby. It's again, if you are very serious about trying to learn about these species of fish, you're not going to find a better channel. Nobody, yeah, freshwater ichthyology. Thank you, Senadonis man. Um, you know, I think you guys are probably the only two channels that I know of that really get into the nitty gritty. A lot of information. So, if you haven't had an opportunity or weren't aware of Featherfin Films, definitely worth checking them out. Again, you're going to learn a lot. And if you also like cars, this is something that's going to be interesting. Um, Based on what I learned from Nick in that interview, he somehow manages to tie in both of the hobbies, which is, you would think on the surface, how is talking about a Mercedes Benz, or I mean a Toyota, in any way similar to talking about any other fish that's in there. So you got to watch these videos so you can learn how he manages to do that. But I thought it was a very interesting channel. I remember uh, watching his channel, or hearing about his channel on Vibes Aquatics of all places. Um, I don't know if Eddie had an opportunity to meet him at one of the events, but he's the one that made me aware that this channel was out there. So and then him being on with Nick was just just the icing on the cake because I got to get a little bit of insight on that. So again, check them out. Um, you might like it, you might not, but I'm telling you, as far as you try to learn in-depth information about some of these species, you're not going to find a better resource. And it's very digestible. He does a really good job of breaking down the information. um, very easy to consume, which is always something that I can appreciate because my bandwidth and my intelligence is not it's not the best. So if I can learn something from this, you guys can definitely learn a lot more. But so that's the second channel. Let's go into the next channel. Next channel is somebody who's been a part of the community for quite some time. Um, Not necessarily a high content creator, but I know I've seen him hang out with Fathom at some of the uh, at some of the fish events. I believe they were at Dallas this last Aquashella, and that's going to be SC Catahoulas. I didn't know this, but apparently from taking a little bit of a research and looking into it, it's a breed of dogs. This is a new breed for me. I was not aware of these dogs existing um, until I think I heard him comment in a live stream that's what it was. And uh, the SE, and I don't know if that's it, but I think it's South Carolina. I know some of you guys might know. Um, is Fathom? I don't think Fathom's here, or else he would correct me on that. But yeah, this is channel again. Not necessarily uh like per se a content creator because he's not putting out videos on a scheduled um, pace, but that doesn't mean that he won't in the future. Uh, it's one of those things again, like I've talked about some of the other members of the community. Maybe this might encourage them to decide to post. I mean, they already did. They've done 3 videos. One of them was actually on breeding celestial pro Daniels. I like his setup. It's something that I could easily replicate, so I can appreciate that. So maybe this is the motivating tool to get him to share more information about what he's doing with his aquariums and his experience. But because he's very active in a lot of the live streams, I wanted to make sure that people understand that he also has a channel. So just kind of wanted to put it out there, and also as a way to thanks for the constant support too. It's a way for me to give back a little bit of all that support I received from you guys. So that's why I wanted to do that for that. And then the other one is a young man who was making is making or was making regular appearances on a lot of the auctions, especially on Jeff Pelham's auctions. It's Dave's Aquatics. If I can get this to open. All right. Yeah, my internet it's got to be where I'm at. I might be too far away from the modem. Wow, I'm really tired. I'm tired to the point where I'm really really slow today, more than usual. But anyways, I think he's been putting out videos on him pretty consistent, very knowledgeable about plants. I know I've watched some of the videos that he's done on some of his plants. He's predominantly that's what his tanks are. It's just uh, places for him to propagate some of the plants. And I know that's one of the biggest things that he sells. He sells like plant packages at the auctions. So if you're looking to obtain plants for your aquariums, give him a look. Let me see. I think he also. I don't know if he has his own site. Yeah, he has an Etsy shop. Let me see. Make sure that the screen is sharing that. No. Okay. Let's see what he's got in his Etsy shop. Let's go over here. Let me share the screen. Replace. Nope, that's the one we have. So let's go to the Etsy and see what kind of items he's got in there. So this is his Etsy shop. He's got 19 sales, 1 year on Etsy. So here is, if you're looking into buying some of the stuff, this is where he has his inventory of what's available. He's got some floating plants, some stem plants, more stem plants. So let's see what else he's got. A lot of these plants are plants that I'm not even familiar with. Yeah, I know he runs CO2 on some of his setups. I don't know if these are all necessarily CO2 plants or not. But if you're interested, again, he's got an Etsy shop. It's on his description for his channel, and also just kind of be on the lookout. I think I don't know if that one. I don't know. Let's see. Is anybody here that participates in Skipper's live stream? Just here to say hi. We'll be listening from the shop. Hi, Jorge. Everyone else, looking forward to hearing about the new channels. Okay, thank you, Luis, for listening in. Too bad. He said he was stopping, but recanted. Oh, okay. He still has auctions. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm kind of reading some of the comments in the chat. But yeah, let's go back to his channel so we can kind of take a look at what he's doing with his channel and what we can learn from his channel. So I knew that was part of um, what he was doing. So he basically only charges you what, $12 for shipping, which is that's pretty decent. That's he also has a Facebook page. He has group sales. I don't know. I don't know. I guess Facebook is getting kind of weird with sales on their platform. Um, I know for live animals, it's they're taking down groups, but I don't know if that pertains to aquatic plants or not. So, based off of this, let's see. He's got 98 videos. He's got a small fish room that he's kind of, kind of working in there. He's got some of the fish room punks. He did a little bit of boxing. Looks like he's got some like a little mini pond. So he kind of goes around and shares some of the stuff that he's breeding, what he's selling, kind of giving you up to dates on what's going on in his fish room. I'm trying to see if he has any of the like breeding stuff. I'm assuming he does. Because he's got a lot of videos. But again, a good little channel if you're looking to potentially buy some. Oh, okay. I thought he was trying to kill a duckweed on this video, but apparently he's got what is it called? Aphids, the little bugs that grow on top of the plants, and I guess he's literally torching the little pest insects on the top. I always thought those were like free food for fish. I never really. I've had a few of them on some of my water lettuce that I've had, but I always just dip them underwater and let the fish eat them, and that's never really been a big problem. If it gets out of hand, I just kind of scoop the floating plants and pretty much deal with it. But yeah, I guess he's going full flamethrower on these things. I wonder that's I must not damage the plants. I would have never thought about doing that. I think that's pretty interesting. But that's interesting. Okay. So let's see what else he's got in here. Uh, like I said, it's the typical stuff you would get from having a fish room, doing some of those videos. Another person that's very active and the chats in the live streams, and figured that you know talk a little bit about his channel, make sure I bring a little bit of attention for those of you that might not be familiar with him. So that is David's Aquatics. Again, let's go over here to the description of his channel real quick. He's got one more link. Yeah, it's the Etsy link. So yeah, it's pretty basic. Um, Contact him, I guess, predominantly on his Facebook page. So that would be Dave's Aquatics. The next one we want to talk about is let's see, FS FSF, which stands for Fur Scale Feathers. So based off of that, it's somebody that not only into fish, reptiles, and birds. So cats too. Well, the furs for the cats. Um, so this channel is been he's got some DIY projects. He does some species profiles. Um, it's pretty entertaining. I'm not gonna lie. I thought the information on this channel was pretty interesting. Just the name. Let me see. What are you guys looking at? Okay, you guys are seeing the same thing I am. So in here in his introduction, he says he'll bring you up close with the most fascinating creatures, furry, scaly, and feathered. From exotic fish to chirpy birds to curious reptiles and fluffy pets. Yeah, so scale doesn't only refer to fish. Does he have any? He says he's going to try to put out videos every Wednesday and Saturday. which is pretty good to be able to do that. This is what I thought was kind of interesting. He's out in Indonesia, or at least the channel says that that's where he's at. Um, so I don't know, maybe an expat that's in Indonesia, or maybe they're just AI thumbnails. No, it's he's definitely he's definitely living out there. But he's got a very, like I said, it's really interesting to see the stuff that he's doing out there. You get a different view of how to do the hobby outside of the United States. You start learning about some of the things that we might take for granted having access to um, some of the challenges and how they overcome that uh, to be able to continue to have the hobby down there. So, uh, again, it's a very different far as being able to get to see how things are done outside of the United States. Um, Obviously, has an interest in different in different in different hobbies. So I would suggest give them check them out. See, I know this has got to be one of those late night finds when I was working at a graveyard at work. That's usually when I tend to find a lot of channels, and because I guess of the time that I'm watching, I tend to get a lot of channels outside of the United States. For some reason, I guess algorithm assumes that it's daytime for where these people are staying at. But uh, yeah, these are just some of the videos that he's got. Obviously, he's using a little bit of AI to generate some of the thumbnails and stuff like that. But yes, you know, figured it if you're looking for something to watch that's a little bit out of the ordinary, or you're trying to learn a little bit more about how things are done outside the United States, this is a great channel to go do that. I know he goes to some events and stuff like that, so you get an opportunity to see how things are done um, at animal events in other countries. So figured I'd post that with you guys, and feel free to go check it out. You might find something there you like. So the next channel that I want to talk about is Tara's Tank Friends. That's the paperclip channel. Wait, what did I do? Did too far. So let's go back. Let's get in here. Let's go to my description. Wow, my internet is sucking today. It is taking forever to respond. That's got nothing to do with nope. Tara's Tanks and Friends. All right. What does Tara have for us? She's got 130 subscribers. Oh no, 577 subscribers, 130 videos. Just an aquarist, a naturalist, and artist of various mediums. So this is, if I remember correctly, it's an aquascape channel. Um, Again, one of the things that I enjoy watching, just for get inspiration or motivation to do some of the things that I do. I'll watch other people's channels. Uh, Obviously has a YouTube channel. He's got that's something another YouTube channel besides this. You can find her on Instagram. They have their email in case you're trying to reach out to them. But let's go look at some of the videos. A lot of these are updates of planet tanks that she's put together, and just kind of sharing the evolution of that. Um, Talking about the different kind of plants that she's using and things like that. So I guess if you're into planet aquariums or trying to learn about a planet aquariums, this is definitely a channel that you might find interesting. So these are just some of the things. Obviously, doing terrariums and paludariums and stuff like that. So what else are they? They got some shorts. So yeah, this is basically somebody that's doing the hobby and and doing some of the planet stuff and maybe some reptiles and stuff like that or amphibians. But that's Tara's channel again. Uh, and you know, I'm trying to remember. I think this channel I came across in I want to say it was Nick in our in my tanks, Nick, and one of the live streams, and just kind of be nosy when check out to see if they had a channel, and lo and behold, they do. Laggy, but there, laggy, but laggy here, but okay. Say Jorge, I'll be listening while working. Thank you, Cheryl. Let's see. Losing you. Oh, okay, so yeah, my I guess sorry. I need to apologize for my shitty net internet. I think I was much better inside the bedroom that doesn't have any tanks. Yeah, I'm on a personal account. Okay. Let's see. I want to make sure I'm not missing on anybody's comments. So this is the other way around. I like the description links. You have probably been doing all long, but I learned something today. Oh, okay. That channel name. Oh, okay. Yeah. Jorge Internet learned anything it knows. All right, Brad. Hmm. So this last one that I have for you, um, it's currently it's been one of my favorite um, channels to watch, um, just because of the way the videos are put together. For me, it has been very, very interesting because it has like animation, video, story. She's a very good storyteller. Love the way she does her videos. Very thoughtful. Nothing like what I do, where it's just kind of winging it all the time. Um, she has a video where she talks about she gets a little personal, and kudos to her because she kind of lets you on what is gone with her and what kind of stage in her life she's in and some of the things that she's dealing with, which I thought that was very interesting because she's showing that vulnerable side. But the reality is, it's she had the very first video I saw was obviously on one of the what I think is one of the most underrated fish in the hobby, which is the least killifish. And I love the way she does her videos. I know I've said that a bunch of times, but I do. I really like them. And this is the very first video I ever saw from her. Um, Emo de Limo. It's in there, but I love what it's just. I don't know. There's just the editing, the filming, the storytelling, um, on top of the animation that she does. Um, I just it's easy watch. It's enjoyable. She has really nice tanks, planet tanks, which that already automatically draws me in. Obviously into nanofish, which is another reason why I kind of really like this channel because it really speaks to me. But this is the stuff that I think is really cool. You don't really see a whole lot of people putting that extra effort. Obviously, her drawing skills are very good. This is stuff that I would not be able to doodle or do anything like that. I love it because it's just so different from the other types of videos. It's it's the videos that I wish I could do, you know. But I don't have that imagination to be able to do something like this. And now I have an idea, but I would have never have thought of being able to do this. And I like how she uses the animations to kind of give information about the videos. I just think it's really well done. She puts a lot of production into what she's doing. The videos don't come out as often, but you can kind of understand why. I mean, there's a lot of work that goes into putting these things together. Unless I'm being totally naive and there's like uh an app that'll kind of do all this stuff for you, but even that requires some thinking and placing and doing this and this and that to be able to get these results. I know I wouldn't be able to replicate any of these results. Again, uh, this this channel I think is really deserves a lot more subscribers than she currently has. I know when I first found the channel, because I think I've been a member, I've been a subscriber from almost the beginning. And even though the channel is not quite as old, I think it's only been a year or just over a year since the channel started. Let's see. Well, she's been on YouTube since 2017. Let's go look at the videos because I could swear that was like the very first video that she did. Let's see. Let's go that. And yeah, what? No way. Yeah, a year. Yeah, about a year ago. Okay, that makes sense. And but you know, they don't she in a year she's done one, two, three, four, five videos. But if I had to do videos like that, it would probably take I'd probably have 2 videos in a year. Um, but yeah, it's, I don't know. I This is the video I was talking about that really gives you a lot of insight as to what she's kinda going through and the choices that she has made, and, you know, there's always that second guessing, the decisions, especially life-changing decisions that we make. And, you know, I don't know, that video kinda spoke to me a little bit. And I was, you know, found some really relatable um stuff that she shared. So you know, I I love her personality. It comes through in the videos. Um, I don't know. Like I said, I've said it a bunch of times, but I do enjoy this channel a lot. I think it's well done. Let's see what she's got in her description. She's got a Patreon channel, so that's kind of cool. And I right now, I'll let you decide. You could call her Lindsay's Tanks or or Lindsay's Stanks. Right there, it's just you can tell her personality, her sense of humor. You know, very enjoyable, very enjoyable channel. Unfortunately, what happened with this one, I would have brought her up a long time ago. There's two things that happened. One, because as much as I like this channel, I mistakenly made the assumption that it was like one of the very first channels that I thought I had plugged. And I had to go back and check, and I started going through my notes and all that, and I realized that I hadn't. But because it was almost a year since the time that I watched her video, the algorithm didn't recommend it anymore. So it wasn't until recently, not the last video, but the one before that. Let me see, which video is it? The stocking pond video. Yeah, I think it was the stocking pond video that I remembered the channel, and it brought it back, and it was like, oh, um, but at the time I didn't have I was at work and I didn't write it down, and that's why this has become a real important thing for me. Let me see or make sure I figured that was going to happen. I gotta well let me, sorry for being quirky. Okay. So, okay, we're back. This has become a real important thing for me because um it allows me to really keep track and organize. As you guys can see now that I do, what I'll do is when I do one of these plugs, I'll put the date when I did it, the channels that I did. These are all channels that I continue to find. If it's got a check mark, I've already done them. Um, here's a here's the current list of channels that'll be coming up. I think I started on the backside now, so I got one in there. Uh, it's a constant thing where I'm finding a lot of these channels, and I can't get these plugs out quick enough because I get busy. I don't. I'm trying to do a little bit of everything. I know for a short while there, I was doing nothing but live streams. Excuse me. I was doing nothing but live streams and not doing any videos. And if you wanna if you want to have a healthy channel, you have to do a little bit of everything. So that's why you'll see some shorts from me. I did the videos on this stuff that was going on, that series of 3 videos. I'm currently working on another video that's right over here. Maybe I'll give you guys a little. I don't know if you can see that. That's a little mini pond that I'm working on, and I've kind of teased it in one of the shorts. So between trying to find that balance between doing content that's what they call evergreen, basically videos that'll generate views um, during the course of the lifetime of your channel, which in reality that is what helps you continue to have your watch hours up. I've gotten to the point now where I have enough videos that I've never have to worry about not meeting the threshold of watch hours and views. But that's you have to do everything. Uh, Live streams are great for watch hours, but they don't get a lot of replay um, rewatches. Whereas a video, I don't. I'm trying to think. I don't have any live streams that have been over 1,000 views, even with the one where Discus North, Jose, and Funk and myself. That one I think only topped off at about 800 views. So yes, you do get the watch hours because people, if you have 20 people watching and they watch the entire length of the live stream, well, that's that helps you take away at those watch hours. But the views and all that stuff, it comes from the videos. So I have to find that balance between trying to make sure I can do videos. And the problem with videos take a little bit longer time because you gotta like I do a lot of building stuff. That's kind of what I do with my videos. So that takes just some time. And as a matter of fact, I'm looking at the on this thing. That adage about measuring twice, cutting once. Yeah, I should adhere to that a little bit more. I gotta redo that. Luckily, it's real easy. It's just a wrap for a little um, plastic tote. But as soon as I finished building it, and I thought, why does this look a little bit wider than I remember it? And sure enough, and the problem is that I glued it. I glued the corners and then used brad nails to put it in there, so it's not gonna if I try to take it apart, I'm gonna break it. So, but it's just cedar board, so it's not what it's like a $4 board. I just go buy another one. It's just, the only thing I hate is because I it took me a while to sand it down. That's the only thing I'm dreading is sanding it down again because those are rough cut boards, and when you get them, they have all the saw cuts on the side. It takes a little bit of elbow grease to be able to smooth them down where it's a usable piece of wood, and that's just because I'm being cheap. I'm a frugal kind of guy. I'd rather do a little bit of elbow work and not spend the money on you know I, I'm trying to save myself a few dollars because one of those cedar planks, like I said, is maybe $4. But if I buy a pine board that's that size, what am I paying? About 10, $12 for that same size board. so, so I'm being cheap. I'm trying to save $8, which at this point I think I should have started with the other board, but maybe not because I would have made the same mistake. I wouldn't have measured it. I got the right dimensions when I assembled it. That's where I made the mistake. Um, uh, I don't know what I was thinking. Oh no, I know what I was thinking. I wasn't thinking, so that's why I made that mistake. But that's just a trip down to the the hardware store and picking up a board. No big deal. As a matter of fact, I think I have one in the all this mess that I have in here. I think there's one of those boards. I just got to make sure it's straight because it's been sitting in here for a while. But that's a whole different topic. Again, those are some of the channels that I found out there. Hopefully, uh, you guys enjoy them. Let's see. Oh, there's more people that kind of came in here. Don't lie, Jorge. It's not a pond. It's a fool's table. It's yeah, it could be a mini foos table, but I'm not that capable of doing the little figurines. I would have to get in touch with Ed and have him make me the little dolls or figures or whatever you call them for the foos table. But I would put ball bearings on the handles so that thing will flick through instead of just the friction hose that it has. I don't have anything else for you guys today. There's more channels, but um, I'll save that for another day, a rainy day. But nonetheless, I want to thank you guys for coming in here, and I'll see you guys soon. Well, that's still way out. Oh, this weekend, the 18th. If you're not doing anything, I highly recommend you go see MNC Aquatics channel. He's going to be having some I guess legends, if you want to call them that, in the hobby. Ed, who a lot of us are familiar with, is going to be on. Greg Sage and Mitch Broom or Broom. I think it's Broom. I might be wrong. No bonus plugs. No, because then I'll call them Inside Out Aquatics instead of Outside In, and you get all offended and you start crying about it, and I don't want to put you in that situation. So no bonus plugs. No, well, yeah, the plug is go check out MNC's live stream. It's happening on the 18th. 18th, correct, Mike? Um, Again, I might be spreading misinformation. It looks like Kyle might have put the link for that. I'm not 100% sure. Let me see. I'll look on my phone. Yep, that's it. That's it. Oh, look. Thank you, Brandon, because I was giving the wrong date. It's the 19th, according to this, at 5 o'clock my time, which I'm assuming it's 7 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock Eastern time. So make sure you guys copy that link. I'm just trying to upgrade your game. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. I need all the help I can get to upgrade my game. I have no game. But I think that's going to be a really interesting to be able to listen what goes through the mind of these gentlemen who have ton a ton of experience, um in the fish hobby. So uh I didn't call you Kyle, Brandon. What are you talking about? Although as far up in Kyle that you are, you might as well be one person. So with that being said, guys, thank you so much. Thank you for the stream. Always find good stuff on your plugs. Well, I appreciate that. That's the only reason I do this, is to make sure that you guys are finding some of these people that are out there. And at one point, we all started at just one subscriber, and it's always nice when you get another subscriber and then another and then another, and that just kind of motivates you to continue to do this. So if I can do that for somebody, you know, I'm just happy that I could help, and as little as I could, but I helps just a little bit. That's it. Kyle posted it, the link. Oh, okay. Oh, so who was it? Oh, anyways. Well, Brandon, I thought it was you. Thank you for doing that. So, with that being said, guys, take care. We'll see each other on some live stream throughout the day. Hey, Craig, are you just getting in, or I'm sorry that you came in towards the end because we're getting ready to bounce out of here. So, adios, hasta luego.